Tonight on CTV News at 6. The crash happened in August. Greater Sudbury police have now laid charges in connection to the death of an 11-year-old. High levels of homelessness.
We're calling on the government, to step in here, step up,
Mushkegowuk Council of Chiefs has declared a state of emergency because of a lack of supports. And despite protests,
Bill 33 is all about putting school boards back on track that fall off the rails.
The Ford government passes Bill 33 after the NDP leader is bounced from the legislature.
CTV News at 6 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for spending some time with us on this Wednesday. Police in Greater Sudbury have laid charges in a fatal ATV collision from this summer. On August 4th, an 11-year-old was killed in an ATV crash off Port Alliance Road north of Caprel. After an investigation, a 46-year-old man has been charged today with dangerous operation causing death and criminal negligence causing death. The accused will be in court January 7th to answer to the charges. And Sudbury police also laying charges today in a fatal motor vehicle crash from June. Police had been called to the LaSalle extension around 6 a.m. June 17th. A 44-year-old man was killed following a collision. Police have now charged a 44-year-old man with dangerous operation, stunt driving, and speeding in connection to that crash. Commuters in Sudbury were delayed tonight after a car caught fire on the LaSalle extension. These images, captured less than a kilometer from the roundabout at Fruit Road, show a vehicle off the road engulfed in flames. No word if anyone was hurt. For more on this story, visit our website, CTVNewsNorthernOntario.ca. The Mushkegowuk Council of Chiefs has declared a state of emergency across its territory. It's in response to the high levels of homelessness. The council is now looking for help from senior levels of government. CTV's Lydia Chubak reports.
Officials are in the process of relocating about 80 people out of this encampment behind the Living Space homeless shelter in Timmins. They say it's a slow process because the shelter is at capacity and there is a shortage of affordable housing. With more than 400 homeless people in the Timmins area and most of them Indigenous, the Mushkegowuk Council has officially declared the homelessness situation an emergency. It's written to the Premier, Prime Minister and a number of ministers to invite them for a meeting. Mushkegowuk Council officials say society has created the problems and society has to fix them.
We're calling on the government, to step in here, step up, and come and help us, with funding, with immediate action.
Timmins Mayor Michelle Boileau says Mushkegowuk Council's declaration reflects the reality and supports it.
A state of emergency, you want to be able to bring an end to that state. And so it'll be important to be able to define what the path out of this is. Until we're able to do that, I'm not sure. Again, I'm hopeful, and if anything comes of it, I hope that at least it can start important conversations and conversations that can lead us somewhere.
To actually just put it into paper or make it a headline, yeah, that's valuable for sure. And I think if nothing else gets gained, hopefully it just sheds light on the fact that, there are hundreds of people in Timmins every night who are in a state of emergency, and hundreds of thousands of people in Ontario, and double that across Canada every night, who are in a state of emergency.
The emergency was declared Monday, and Mushkegowuk Council has yet to get a response.
Yeah, we just keep going, keep going with what we have, keep trying to get them to respond.
Mushkegowuk Council wants to establish a task force that includes all member First Nations and all levels of government to establish a long-term solution. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
The Sault Ste. Marie Police Service has removed the interim tag for its new deputy chief. The hiring comes just 3 months after the service hired its chief of police with both internal hires. CTV's Corey Nordstrom has more.
We welcome you as the Deputy Chief.
With nearly 28 years of policing in Sault Ste. Marie, the service officially promoted William Freeman to the rank of Deputy Chief at its latest board meeting.
It's quite an honor to be selected for this position. I wish that my father and my uncle could have been around to see it, but I take it with a great degree of pride, and I look forward to moving forward with this service. I have a long, outstanding history with the Sault Ste. Marie Police Service, and I care about our community and the people that work here.
Freeman has served many roles at Sault Police. He has overseen patrol, investigative services, support services, and professional standards.
Billy Freeman has an excellent operational background. He had years in the tactical team, has always been a strong investigator and a strong leader in this organization. So, yeah, his operational history around this organization is well known, and I think he'll be a real good leader in that area.
The meeting also saw an update on this year's budget projections, initially thought to be near $2 million over budget.
Our projection as at September 30th is now almost $1.2 million that we will be over budget.
Some of those numbers, obviously, we're going to have a hard time controlling. We made the hires. We're paying those salaries. I'm proud to see that the overtime has kind of come down this year compared to years previous, and that's all through good work and review of process. Helps when you have additional officers.
The Sault Ste. Marie Police Board recently presented to Council a budget worth $44 million for next year. It's an increase of over $4 million that Chief Duguay hopes will set a baseline to go forward into 2026 and 2027. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
Tomorrow marks Transgender Day of Remembrance, which honors transgender individuals lost to violence. This week, we're featuring the personal stories of longtime advocates who've worked to ensure trans voices are heard. CTV's Angela Gemmell has the story and a warning. This story deals with suicidal ideation.
For almost 20 years, Vincent Bolt has used he, him pronouns. It was around the age of 14 in the early 2000s he realized the gender assigned at birth was not the one he identified with.
At that time, we had no local resources specifically for trans people, so it was a lot of finding books at the library, Googling information, and trying to find clues to, like, what do I do next?
He came out as transgender while still in high school. His family wasn't initially supportive, but his emotional distress changed their perspective.
They realized after I'd been hospitalized for 3.5 weeks due to a suicide attempt that if they didn't accept me fully, they would lose me entirely. It became very clear, it's like, we'd rather our kid be trans than dead.
He says there was a lot of learning in those first few years for everyone in his world. That included his high school, medical professionals, and others. Vincent says due to a lack of awareness, he experienced mistreatment.
People who would misgender me, being bullied by nurses, even having to just give a basic trans 101 to service providers, motivated me to get involved.
It was during those teenage years when Vincent started openly telling his story. That led to advocacy work.
Creating a better world for myself and friends who were starting to come out, I needed to do something, and I could either sit on my butt and do nothing, or I could become an activist.
He found a small transgender community and they became each other's support.
It was just me and older trans women. So here I am, 17 years old, 18 years old, learning about wigs and makeup and tucking, but at least I felt like here's a space where I belong.
Those early years shaped a career direction too. Now a psychotherapist, Vincent has many clients who identify as trans or queer who seek out his help because of shared experience.
I know how to navigate the system because I've been through it. When a client's like, I don't know what to expect after top surgery, I can say, well, been there, done that, here's what you can expect.
As Trans Day of Remembrance approaches, Bolt says it's a reminder of those who no longer have a voice. The day honors transgender individuals who've been murdered, died suspiciously, or died by suicide. Each year, new names are added.
To see that some of these deaths are happening closer and closer to home, we need more advocacy, we need more protections, and we need a shift in attitudes in society still.
Despite the heightened political climate, particularly south of the border, Vincent says advocacy conquers fear.
I've never had time to be afraid. I just do what I need to do, because if I just live in fear, then nothing changes at all, or the bad guys win.
As for what's still needed, Bolt says that's a long list, but permanent funding for community groups tops that list.
The TG and ourselves groups are running without funding right now by really dedicated volunteers. So we need funders, and it not just be one-year grants or 3-year grants. It needs to be permanent funding.
Angela Gemmell, CTV News, Sudbury.
Tomorrow, Angela will have the story of one of the founding members of TG Inner Cells, a support group for transgender persons. There's also a vigil planned tomorrow evening to mark the Transgender Day of Remembrance. That's at the main branch of the Sudbury Library starting at 6:30 p.m. All right, a pretty nice Wednesday out there, although it was on the cool side. To tell us more what we can expect for the next few days, here's CTV's Rick Wyman.
A little bit of change, Tony. We've got some snow and rain coming into northeastern Ontario, as you can see on our systems map, of course. That system moving in from Western Canada and the Midwest in the United States, and with it you can see some snow and some rain. Low pressure system will bring change in temperature and conditions over the course of the next couple of days. We'll get a sunny break or two as well between now and Monday, but again, some sleet, showers, flurries. We can expect that in the forecast right across the Northeast. So we'll take a look at that. Some current temperatures right across the north as well. Our 7-day forecast a little bit later on in the show, and our pick of the day. Tony?
Thanks, Rick. The mayor's chair still to come on CTV News at 6. Sault Ste. Marie Mayor Matthew Shoemaker is Ian Campbell's guest this week. And people in North Bay get an update on efforts to clean up PFAS at 2 sites.
Ready to run with the pack? The Sudbury Wolves take on the Sarnia Sting Friday, December the 5th, and you could be in the stands. We're giving away a 4-pack of tickets to cheer on your favorite team. So, what are you waiting for? Enter now at CTVNorthernOntario.ca and get ready to howl.
Time now for a look at the mayor's chair. Once a week, we check in with local mayors to see what's happening in their community and some of the situations they're dealing with. Joining us tonight in the mayor's chair is Matthew Shoemaker from the beautiful city of Sault Ste. Marie. Mayor Shoemaker, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Let's start with the budget. And now I know you've been seeing some preliminary figures this week, and it's my understanding more discussion will happen later into the month. The big thing many always look at is property tax. Do you have a goal of where you'd like to keep things in mind as deliberations continue?
Well, our effort, or my effort over the last 11 years that I've been a member of council, has always been to find as much savings as possible. I had been keeping track of a number. I think we're up to about 3 million over my time on council, and looking for several million more, hopefully, over the course of these budget deliberations in the coming weeks. I'd like to get that proposed or preliminary increase lower, obviously, so that residents can continue to have kind of affordable and manageable tax rates in the community.
So is there a percentage point yet, or are you not at that stage yet?
The preliminary budget is, I think it came in around 5.4%, and we'd like to see it lower than that, of course, and we'll make every effort to bring it down from there.
How hard is that each November? I know we've talked about this before, and Sault Ste. Marie is entering this whole new stage of fiscal uncertainty to try and balance things, knowing, okay, we don't know how things are going to be maybe this time next year.
Yeah, it's a challenge, but every year you have to look at that year's facts and try and present or get agreement on the most reasonable budget you can. Of course, you've got 11 different opinions around the table, and everybody wants to see it done a little bit differently. So you try and build some consensus around the areas where you can achieve some movement, some downward movement, hopefully, in the proposed or preliminary levy, and try and get council to understand that you have to balance the things you'd like to have with the things that are necessary, and it has to spit out a number at the end of the day that is attainable or achievable for everybody to pay.
Sault Ste. Marie, on another note, is without a member of provincial parliament that's in the government or the governing party. I'm not going to ask you to comment on a criminal case because I know you won't, but I'm wondering, has this impacted your conversations with the Premier? Because some might be wondering if the city still has that direct line that maybe it had a month or two ago to Doug Ford.
Well, I've been very fortunate to have direct outreach from the Premier's office. The Premier himself has reached out a number of times. It's Chief of Staff, members of the Premier's office, and various cabinet ministers. So I've been in direct contact with many of them and continue to meet with them regularly. So, it is an unfortunate circumstance where we don't have, a member of the government at Queen's Park anymore. But certainly I don't feel like we've been left out in the cold by the provincial government in any way. So that's, positive to come, perhaps a silver lining to have come of this.
That's good to hear. Finally, I don't get a chance to ask you a lot of fun stuff, so I'm going to capitalize on this something real quick before I let you go. How about those Greyhounds? I know you and I were talking about it off the air. I think as of this interview, second in the West, you got to be pretty proud.
Yeah, they just came off a great road trip. I think they won almost all their games. And so it's, we're heading into a great part of the season. We've got Christmas coming up. There's a lot of games over the holidays, and hopefully that'll continue and we can edge our way up to first in the division.
I hope so. I'm going to get there to check one out. I'm making that pledge right now. Mayor Shoemaker.
We'll be happy to host you.
Absolutely. Mayor Shoemaker, thank you so much.
Have a great day.
That's Mayor Matthew Shoemaker from the city of Sault Ste. Marie.
Thanks for that, Ian. An update on PFAS, also known as forever chemicals, is taking place in North Bay right now. Representatives from the Jack Garland Airport and Canadian Forces Base are meeting with the public on the ongoing reclamation project. Eric Tashner is at the meeting, and we'll have more at 11:30 with Ian Campbell. The city of Sault Ste. Marie is looking to talk about accessibility with its residents. Tomorrow evening, there will be an open house to discuss the multi-year accessibility plan, also serving as an opportunity to see what people think is lacking in that discussion. Transit is among the topics that the city's accessibility coordinator views as top of mind for those with disabilities. There will be discussion on how the service works, its barriers, and ideas for improvement. Other areas of interest are new accessible parking on Queen Street, on-demand accessible taxis, and accessibility in park infrastructure. The feedback will go towards the city's accessibility plan.
My hope for the accessibility plan is that I'll be able to, once I receive feedback from the public, I'll be able to apply items that are applicable to the plan and then send that to council for the next meeting in December. If for any reason it takes a little bit longer, that would be the council meeting in January.
The open house takes place Thursday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Northern Community Centre. The founder of the iconic Bay Used Books in Greater Sudbury has passed away. In a social media post, the shop announced the passing of its founder, Bernie Bouffard, Sunday. Bernie opened Bay's Confectionery on LaSalle Boulevard in 1975 with the goal of turning it into a used bookstore. Over time, he and his wife, Fran, did just that. In the 80s, they opened the location most Sudburians know in the downtown. The shop was taken over by Bernie's daughter and son-in-law in 2004, but Bernie was there to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Bay Used Books earlier this year. Bay Used Books is hoping people will share their stories and memories of Bernie on its Facebook page. And sad news to report from Sault Ste. Marie. Farmer Bob has died. Bob Courier owned Mockingbird Hill Farm in the Sioux for decades. He loved his farm and grew wildflowers and vegetables, and at one time even had horses on it. A lot of families made memories there. In fact, some even got married in the old church on the property. Farmer Bob was 78 years old. Back now for a check on your current conditions. Once again, here's Rick.
We've got some precipitation rolling into northeastern Ontario, Tony, in the form of snow, rain, sleet, and of course, in some cases, some shower activity. In others, we'll have some flurries and the odd sunny break as well. Let's take a look at our forecast radar. There you can see it's going to happen. The approaching system by tomorrow anyways. This is what it's going to look like by Friday at supper time. But we'll get more into that in just a couple of minutes with our 7-day forecast. Let's check out The current conditions in Moosonee this hour, -5, mainly cloudy. Cochrane, a few clouds, -7. Timmins, -5, few clouds as well. Kapuskasing, -4 with a few clouds. Chapleau, -2. Wawa, -1. And Sault Ste. Marie at 3 degrees all this hour. Meanwhile, in Parry Sound, -2, some clear skies there. In North Bay, clear skies, -4. Temiskaming Shores, -6. In the KL, -4, just a few clouds as well. -5 in Greater Sudbury right now. Espanola, -2. Elliott Lake, -1. And Gore Bay, clear skies at 1. 7-day forecast, pick of the day, and more, Tony, coming up just minutes away. Back to you.
Thanks for that, Rick. A new chairperson next on CTV News at 6. The Near North District School Board elects a familiar face as board chair. And protests erupt as the Ford government passes school board takeover bill. At a meeting last night, the Near North District School Board elected a new board chair and vice chair. It's dealing with pressure from the Minister of Education, who has threatened to take over the board. Jay Aspin has been tasked with leading the board after Education Minister Paul Calandra said the Near North board would be the first he'd look into taking over if Bill 33 passed today, which it did. The board has been under intense scrutiny from the Ministry of Education after a provincial review on the delayed opening of a $58 million JK to grade 12 Parry Sound School. Aspin has pledged the board will regain public trust and confidence.
Let us embrace the minister's binding directions as our roadmap to renewal. Let us prove to the public and to our families and to ourselves that we are worthy of the trust placed upon us.
Aspin has served as board chair before. Bill Steer will be taking on the role as vice chair. As we told you earlier, Bill 33 passed at Queen's Park today. CTV's Siobhan Morris has the details and the reaction to the passing of the controversial bill.
Declare the motion carried.
Cheers and jeers as Bill 33 passes its last legislative hurdle. The process controversial because it skipped committee hearings, but the bill's content has sparked anger too.
Bill 33 is all about putting school boards back on track that fall off the rails.
The education minister can now more easily take over a school board, even if it isn't in financial trouble. A step he's considering with the Near North District School Board.
You have students who are being taught in a half-demolished high school because of decisions of a board. And anybody who suggests that the Minister of Education should allow that mess to continue is wrong.
Everything good?
Boards will have to take on school resource officers if their local police service has a program. Paul Calandra says that's about building relationships, not policing kids.
The workers united will never be defeated.
A crush of education workers piled onto the steps of Queen's Park. They've seen decision-making move behind closed doors at boards already under supervision.
And the fact that Calandra wants to make it even easier to take over, it is really scary.
There is an openness to more accountability for bad actors.
Maybe take those trustees out, but I don't think it's a one puzzle piece fits all. You take them all out and that's the solution.
But they argue that's not what really matters in this fight.
This is a distraction from the chronic underfunding.
An equation educators say has left their schools broken.
I have to bring in tissue from home so that the runny noses can be wiped off. I have to deal with kids that are biting, pushing, and kicking me.
The opposition leader says she doesn't trust the government to fix that.
They have created this mess, and I think right now what they should be focused on is how to properly fund our schools.
With not enough adults in schools.
Class sizes are too big, special education's been starved by this government, and we have a mental health crisis.
The Minister of Education is still considering eliminating trustees entirely.
They're laying the groundwork for it, and that's to the detriment of parents and students.
Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
An extraordinary media briefing in Washington today involving the RCMP, the FBI, and the Department of Justice. They are on the hunt for Ryan Wedding, a one-time Canadian Olympic snowboarder, now on the FBI's most wanted list. CTV's Michael Couture has that story.
The reward for Wedding's arrest has been upped to $15 million American, a significant amount for someone that law enforcement says is a major drug kingpin.
Ryan Wedding is a modern-day iteration of Pablo Escobar.
Law enforcement in Canada and the U.S. are calling the former Canadian Olympic snowboarder the leader of a transnational criminal enterprise. In addition to reportedly shipping truckloads of cocaine across North America, the FBI and U.S. Justice Department are now charging Ryan Wedding with 2 additional counts of witness tampering, intimidation, and money laundering.
Wedding is also accused of murdering a federal witness after he was indicted in 2024.
U.S. officials allege Wedding used semi-trucks to import 60 tons of cocaine annually into the U.S. That amount of drugs is the same weight as 40 standard cars.
Ryan Wedding is extremely dangerous. He's extremely violent, and he's extremely wealthy. He's being protected by the Sinaloa cartel, along with others in the country of Mexico.
American law enforcement has been working with the RCMP because of his links to Canada and his alleged connection to 4 murders in Ontario. It's believed his vast network includes a former Mexican law enforcement officer and money launderers from Italy and the UK.
Fugitive Ryan Wedding remains one of the top threats to Canadian public safety, and as per the previous indictment, continues to run an over $1 billion a year criminal enterprise.
While increasing the reward for his arrest to $15 million, U.S. law enforcement is asking for the public's help to find Wedding.
Please understand that he might change his hair color, his appearance, and do anything to avoid capture, but someone like Ryan Wedding is going to stick out in Mexico.
With today's indictment, U.S. law enforcement says approximately 36 people have been indicted, and they warn Ryan Wedding that his days are numbered. Mike Lecuteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
And there's more news still ahead, but first, here's your full weather forecast with Rick.
Change is coming, Tony. Some precipitation in the form of snow and rain, a combination of both. Low pressure system from out west and the Midwest in the United States coming in to affect us. Northeastern Ontario, this is what it's going to look like tomorrow by about 4 o'clock and continuing right through. So we've got a couple of days of that, some sunny breaks, and then more precipitation. So let's check out what's happening overnight. First and foremost, increasing cloud, Greater Sudbury, Sault Ste. Marie, partly cloudy at 0. Timmins -2, chance of flurries, few clouds in Timiskaming Shores and the Bay, clouding over at -7 for this evening. Moosonee, some snow and freezing drizzle, -5. Caphurst, -1. Wawa, 2, chance of flurries. Gore Bay, partly cloudy at 1. And Perry Sound, increasing clouds at -5. Here we go, Sudbury Nickel Belt. Tomorrow, we've got some cloud, 3 degrees. Then we get the chance of sleet at 60%, 3 degrees. -2 Saturday, some sunny breaks, then back to some precipitation, chance of showers at 5. Monday, chance of sleet at 2 and 1. Tuesday with the cloud cover. Meanwhile, in Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, rain tomorrow. Periods of rain over the course of the day at 5 degrees, 4 degrees on Friday, chance of sleet. Chance of sleet Saturday, chance of showers on Sunday. Talk about a variation. You go from 4 to 3 to 7, back down to 4 on Monday, chance of sleet and some cloud cover Tuesday at 4 degrees, slightly above normal for this time of the year. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, chance of flurries for tomorrow at 2. Chance of flurries, a pretty good bet on Friday at 60%, 0. -3 Saturday, some sun and cloud. That high pressure system comes in for just a day. Then we're back to the low pressure. Sunday, chance of sleet, 60% at 3. 0 Monday, chance of flurries and some cloud cover Tuesday at 0. Let's have a peek now at Timiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake. We've got some cloud cover tomorrow at 2. Chance of flurries, 60% at +1. -2 Saturday, some sun and cloud. Sunday, chance of sleet, 40% at 3. Chance of flurries Monday. Quick change there. 1 degree on Monday and 1 on Tuesday with the cloud cover. Normally at this time of the year, it's dropped down to -1 according to Environment Canada. So it's slightly above normal for mid-November. North Bay, West Nipissing, mainly cloudy for tomorrow at 4. Chance of sleet, 60% Friday at 6. -1 high pressure back in Saturday with sunshine. Sunday, chance of showers, 40%, all the way up to 7 degrees. Dropping down to 3 Monday, chance of sleet at 30% and some cloud cover Tuesday at 2. So again, you talk about a variation. Not one particular area is going to Well, all areas are going to be affected by the change on again, off again between now and next Tuesday. Let's have a gander now at our pick of the day. Great shot here from Suzanne Pichette. Sunset on Serpent River. So again, love the way she captured this one, and we certainly appreciate some great photography. I keep on getting pictures where people aren't identifying where the shot actually originates. I would appreciate that, and so would the viewers. So keep it coming. Stick around. Tony has more news after the break.
A senior citizen in the greater Sudbury community of Lively is sharing her story after being scammed. The caller told her that her identity had been compromised and she's now out $4,500. Details from CTV's Ellen Everson.
Oh yeah, kisses.
66-year-old Maureen Potter was home last Wednesday with her cat Mustang when she received a troubling phone call.
I was told it was the TD bank and that my accounts have been hacked. Have you spent $5,000 on this, $2,000 on this? I said, no. He says, we have a Maureen Potter opening up bank accounts at the Bank of Montreal, the Royal Bank, the CIBC. I said, it's not me.
The caller then told her she would be transferred to the fraud department and was instructed to withdraw $4,500 from her bank account. She walked there with the caller still on the line.
When I get to the bank, he said, whatever you do, don't talk to anybody, just withdraw the $4,500. If they say anything, you tell them it's for Christmas presents. I do what he says.
She was then instructed to go to an identification machine and deposit money to verify her identity. The closest was a variety store in Coppercliff. She doesn't drive, so she went by taxi.
He sent me a barcode that has the Ministry of Attorney General, the TD Bank. Again, I still think this is valid. I start to go to the machine, and the store owner comes out and says, stop, 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 fraud, fraud, fraud. I'm going to call the police, I'm going to call the police. And now my heart's beating like crazy. I'm thinking, oh my God, David, I said, they're going to call the police.
She left the store in the taxi before police arrived, but the store owner told police the name of the taxi company. Potter was instructed to go to another convenience store with an identification machine, where she began depositing her money.
And I looked to my side, and there's a police officer. He goes, stop, ma'am, stop what you're doing, stop what you're doing, fraud. I'm telling you right now, ma'am, this is fraud. And I'm so in a tizzy at this point, I don't listen to the police officer because I have David saying, do it, do it, do it.
She says the police officer then explained what had just happened.
I had just deposited $4,500 into a Bitcoin machine that is going into the scammer's wallet.
The senior says she is humiliated she fell for the scam, but is sharing her story to make others aware. She is also commending police for their response. Potter is trying to recover the money, but hasn't yet. Alana Everson, CTV News, Lively.
And in an email to CTV today, Greater Sudbury Police saying legitimate businesses or financial institutions will never ask you to pay fees using Bitcoin, any other cryptocurrency, or gift cards. If you're being pressured to make a payment, it's a scam. Hang up, stop the transaction, and report it immediately. We would like to thank the community member who intervened and contacted police. Manitoulin OPP's second annual Suffolk Cruiser event is underway right now until 7 p.m. at the Mindamoya Foodland. The event marks the 5-year anniversary since Constable Mark Hoving was killed in the line of duty. The OPP hosts the event on the anniversary as a way to give Hoving's family, friends, colleagues, and community a positive event to look forward to on such a heavy day. Officials say last year's event in support of Manitoulin Family Resources was a huge success.
Filled a OPP pickup truck 3 times, and we had a total of 1,790 pounds of food donated to the food bank, which was amazing. And then additionally, the event raised $7,570 in monetary donation. I know everyone, really looked forward to a positive reason to celebrate Mark on this day. Everyone who attended, they were very generous. They wanted to talk about memories, and it's just a good way for us to keep Mark in our thoughts and in our conversations and make sure that we're always remembering him.
Constable Mark Hoving was killed in the line of duty November 19, 2020. He was answering a call about a trailer illegally parked on a homeowner's property outside Gore Bay when he exchanged gunfire with a civilian, Gary Broman. Both men died in the incident. In the new year, a northern politician is going to present a petition to the House of Commons. It's calling on the federal government to review and award Canada's highest military honor to a former North Bay veteran. CTV's Amanda Hicks has more.
For veterans Mike Harrison and Timothy Fike, the late Private Jess LaRochelle is a symbol of valor in the war in Afghanistan. During a fierce Taliban attack in 2006, the North Bay private was severely wounded. Yet he single-handedly defended his position, holding off an estimated 40 enemy fighters.
He left his bunker, went out, exposed himself, and fired the M72 rocket launcher directly into this force that was attacking him, exposing himself dozens of times to enemy fire and to unbelievable personal risk. Everybody who was there says if he hadn't done it, the Taliban would have overrun the position.
Jess represents all veterans, especially veterans that fought in Afghanistan, like myself and others, that after returning to Canada, reflecting on their service, whether they're still in or whether they've released, and we're recognizing that there's been a gap in recognition.
LaRochelle was awarded the Star of Military Valor in 2007, Canada's second highest military honor. Advocates have questioned why he hasn't received the Victoria Cross, Canada's highest medal, which has existed for 30 years but hasn't been awarded to any soldier. In a petition that has garnered more than 16,000 signatures across the country, Harrison and Fike are a part of a group advocating for the review and distribution of the prestigious medal.
No matter what you have done, the Canadian government refuses to hand it out. So for us, this is a petition about correcting that injustice.
The petition will now formally reach Parliament Hill for the second time.
I think this would be very important to, first and foremost, Jess's family and his friends. Veterans are important to the city of North Bay, to our legions, and so I think it would be significant for them.
Harrison and Fike are hoping LaRochelle will be awarded the honor posthumously because he passed away in 2023. The deadline to sign the petition is tomorrow morning at 11:30. It will then be presented sometime after Christmas, where the government will have 45 days to formally respond. The hope is that the pressure will compel Ottawa to finally fully acknowledge the sacrifices made by soldiers like LaRochelle and grant them the honor they deserve in life or in death. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, North Bay.
It's a different kind of fashion show. Still ahead on CTV News at 6. Sudbury woman talks about designing a toilet paper dress to help raise money for a good cause. A one-of-a-kind event is happening on Friday, November 28th, in support of Crohn's and Colitis Canada. It's the Gutsy Runway Toilet Paper Fashion Show at Chartwell Meadowbrook in Lively. And to tell us more, Lynn Brito now joins us. Welcome.
Thank you.
Well, normally our guests sit down, but you can't in that dress.
No, not at all.
So it's made entirely out of toilet paper. How long did it take you to do this?
So this gown took me 4 months. I worked on it from July until the show. It takes 22 toilet paper rolls total to fill the whole gown. And I had my friends and family help me make a lot of the flowers in order to fill it in.
Wow, that's a labor of love, but it's also compassion meets creativity. So this is one dress, but I understand you've made another one?
I have, yes. So this year our theme is Winter Wonderland. So I've made a dress in the theme of snowflakes in hopes that it will win me our trophy for this year. And I've earned already $1,100 in donations for the fund of Crohn's and Colitis.
And why is Crohn's and Colitis so near and dear to your heart, Lynn?
So for me, my dog actually suffers from colitis, so it would be awesome to find a cure, some sort of research in order to help cure this disease for not only pets but humans as well. And so a lot of the girls in our group also suffer from it, so it would be nice to find some sort of solution for them.
Any idea how many other participants are there or people showcasing the dresses at the event?
I think this year there's about 10 or 11 designers. Not always the designer models the dress, so depending on how comfortable they are, they may get someone else to model it for them.
Do you find that you'll have an extra advantage because you'll have two dresses in the show?
I don't think so. Honestly, this one won for last year's, so I'm really hoping that this year's design will bring it out of the water and win me the trophy, but it's a game on for everybody.
It sure is. Any final remarks for our viewing audience out there about the event on November 28th?
Yes, definitely come and see the show. It's very exciting. It's fun to see all the new dresses and designs and to see everything come to life. So please come and support Crohn's and Colitis.
Lynn, you're a great sport. Thanks so much for coming in. You'll be able to sit down in a few minutes.
Yes,
Thanks again.
You. Thank you so much.
Lynn Brito was our guest, and to learn more about the unique fashion show at the end of the month, head to crohnsandcolitis.ca. Kirkland Lake OPP and local First Nations held their 4th annual tree lighting ceremony. Members of Beaver House First Nation, Matachewan First Nation, and police lit the Tree of Hope Monday night. The red lights on the tree represent missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls and the two-spirit or gender-diverse members of the community, with the blue lights representing police. Police and First Nations hope the tree encourages all community members to come together in support, solidarity, and remembrance. Moonlight Magic is back to kick off the winter season in downtown Sault Ste. Marie. Tomorrow, the core is going to be a busy place. There is the annual tree lighting ceremony at 7 p.m., plus late-night shopping, and Mr. Bonsu will also be there. The event is designed to spark joy and community spirit. The Sudbury Wolves announced today they've officially signed a goaltender, Bjorn Brones, who was selected in the 5th round of the 2023 priority selection, has officially committed to play with the Wolves. The American-born netminder was listed on Central Scouting's preliminary players to watch list last month. Brones' signing means Finn Marshall is going home. As for the Wolves, they'll face off tonight against the Barrie Colts at the Sudbury Community Arena. Game time is 7:05. Yes Theatre is ending this year with the play Annie. The young cast is aged 8 and up, with around 20 actors and 1 dog in the show. The performance group is taking an unusual spin to the classic play by focusing on the hard times the play is set in.
A lot of productions of Annie sort of center it from a very middle-class point of view. Like, here are a bunch of orphans. We feel really badly about them, but we're not them. Or here's a bunch of people without housing that are protesting the government. Of course we agree with them, but we're not them. And here we've tried to reposition this musical from the point of view of we are the orphans.
There is a sophistication to it. It's deeper than most light and fluffy musicals you'll see because it's relevant for where we're at right now, but it's not heavy-handed. It's a lot of fun.
Annie opens tomorrow night and runs until December 21st. Twilight star Kristen Stewart's directorial debut is set to hit theaters next month. David Daniel has more in the Hollywood Report.
That's not how I remember it. It's all a series of fragments.
Keep your head up. Kristen Stewart makes her feature directorial debut with The Chronology of Water. Imogen Poots stars as a swimmer turned writer, dealing with childhood trauma and addiction. The first trailer for the film is out now. The Chronology of Water opens in New York and Los Angeles for Oscars consideration December 5th and in wide release January 9th.
You become obsessed with it until it overtakes you and takes possession of you.
Jeremy Strong is taking on a tale of obsession, hatred, and revenge. He's set to star in The Boys from Brazil, a Netflix limited series based on the Ira Levin novel. Strong will play Holocaust survivor and Nazi hunter Yakov Lieberman. Daniel Bruhl also stars in the drama about bringing Nazi fugitives to justice, as does Gillian Anderson. Filming is set to begin next month. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Big news from Sudbury-based Magna Mining today about deposits at the Levack mine site. The company says the results of a mineral resource estimate are higher than expected. Deposits contain copper, nickel, and several precious metals, including gold, silver, palladium, and platinum. The company, in a news release today, says much of these minerals can be reached with existing infrastructure, with potential to expand the Morrison deposit. Next steps for Magna will be awarding an assessment contract to be completed in 2026. NVIDIA is the biggest of the big tech companies, so when it reports earnings, investors pay close attention. BNN Bloomberg's Marella Fernandez has more.
NVIDIA reported results for its third quarter, reporting revenue of $57 billion US, easily beating expectations. That's a 62% increase from revenue in the same period last year. The solid report expected to revive confidence in technology stocks, which have been dragged down by nervous investors. They worry about how the billions of dollars being spent on AI infrastructure will turn into revenue. NVIDIA's report pushed its share price up in after-hours trading. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 71.13. West Texas Intermediate crude is down $1.42 to 59.25. Western Canadian Select is up to 48.05, and the TSX gained 241 points today, ending the day at 30,278. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Here are the current prices for some key commodities we watch. Gold up $10.28, closing the day at $40.77.97 US an ounce. Silver up 67 cents to end the day at $51.37. Copper up a penny, ending the day at $4.88 US a pound. And nickel had no change. And Rick is back now for one last look at your Thursday weather.
Just wondering, Tony, if I can put gold on my Christmas wish list maybe this year. That might be, well, maybe a bit of an oversight for some. Weather for tomorrow, a bit of a change. Here we go. We've got some overcast conditions in Greater Sudbury at 3, 2 in Timmins with a chance of flurries, and some rain, periods of rain off and on in the Sioux at 5 degrees. Meanwhile, North Bay 4 degrees, mainly cloudy, 5 in Parry Sound, some sun and cloud, and 2 in Temiskaming Shores. Bit of a change over the course of the next couple of days. Tony, back to you.
Thanks so much for that, Rick, and thanks very much for watching CTV News at 6. I'm Tony Ryma. More news comes your way always at 11:30 with Ian Campbell. Good night.